You know, remember about a month ago or so, remember that in Arkansas how a family, a father was a basketball coach, and a mother and their two children were held at gunpoint because an officer made a stupid mistake and ran a license plate, and she would think it was Arizona, was really Arkansas. Well, we got another situation right here that kind of goes in that concept as well. Right here, we have a Sacramento police pregnant mom and 8-year-old held at gunpoint by a cop who mistook child for a teen drug dealer. Yeah. Pregnant mother and 8-year-old son held at gunpoint by Sacramento cops. Check this out. This is going to make your blood boil and piss you off.
A police officer pulls out a gun on an 8-year-old child, thinking the 8-year-old child is a grown man
and a drug dealer.
The cop is looking for. Let me give you the video first. And
it's not a long one. It's only about 20 seconds.
Pulls out a weapon on
and you can hear the child. Let me bring the highlight before Dr. Rashad brings it up too. Yeah, the mother was ordered to walk to the police officer, and you can hear the child says, "Mom, please don't go. Wait." That poor child think his mom was going to get taken away and handcuffed by the cops. Absolutely absurd.
An 8-year-old, put up the picture.
Check this out.
You see that small child?
How can you mistaken that for a teenager or grown-ass adult?
Well, the cop thought this was a man, a suspect.
A drug dealer.
Shanice Stewart, pregnant California mother, says her 8-year-old son is traumatized after Sacramento police officers...
Let me tell you something else, too. This is not the first time that Sacramento PD have, traumatized and mistaken a suspect for, a child like that as well. Remember a couple months ago I did a story about Sacramento PD and police department went to a house for a parole check, which is absolutely crazy. I've never heard of that. They were trying to do a parole check, banging the door. A 10-year-old girl with their grandmother. A 10-year-old girl was scared of her mind. And the cops wouldn't make excuses like that. And the child said, I was scared. Because it's like you don't know if it's a creep, a sicko, a murderer trying to bang on the door and kidnap you. So they were having the lights out and playing hiding. Because they're figuring like, well, nobody's home, let's just go. Let's go. We'll just try to prowl in the next house. No, the cops, and the girl was crying like that, and the cop was saying, oh, I don't care, no excuse like that, you're under arrest, you're going to go to jail because you won't listen. A 10-year-old child. I mean, it was disgusting. So it brings back to this one.
Held them at gunpoint after mistaking the 8-year-old child for a teenage suspect wanted on 2 felonies. Keep that picture up. Does that look like a teenager to you?
Let alone grown adult drug dealer?
The cop is supposed to be a detective. He's supposed to be an investigator. Supposedly, this investigator thought this was a teenager. Stewart is now demanding the department issue her family an apology for their show of force toward her child. Let me give you details of what happened. Officers from the Sacramento Police Department pulled over Ms. Stewart and her son, Brandon, while they were on their way to a football practice. This was October 17th at about 5 p.m.
It's almost kind of concur about, remember the Arkansas family? They were coming home from a basketball tournament. Yeah. This mother and her 8-year-old son were going to a football practice.
As soon as she was stopped, officers pulled out their firearms.
Wow.
Quote, I looked in the rearview mirror, and that's when I noticed the police officers had their guns out, Stewart said to KCRA. They had them aimed towards the car. So I listened to their instructions to toss my keys out of the window, open my door with my left hand, and get out slowly with my hands in the air. She added, I just followed instructions. Now remember, during this time, this is the time that's likely the most dangerous, because if one cop says, "Oh, I thought they were reaching for a weapon,"
And that's the time it was very most dangerous as well too, because a lot of times, if you don't follow the very precise instruction the cops they give you while they're announcing on like a mega, on the Loudtron or through a megaphone like that. If you make one sudden wrong, I've heard the cops say, tell you if you don't comply, if you make a sudden movement or irrational, we will put you down. You will ride the lightning. That's what happened in Arkansas. They had to follow precise like that, and they were trigger. I mean, you got cops just on the guns drawn, trigger, just itching trigger like that. One sudden move, you flinch, you move, you sneeze, something like that, or you cough, or you just look around like that. They'll put you down. They'll put you down.
And they start shooting, kill both. But guess what? According to the Supreme Court, they get to go home. It's a subjective standard for police officers. As long as they say they felt their lives were in jeopardy, they can be wrong. It is not objective for them. It is subjective for them. There's more. While they were detained, now remember the insanity here, they still proceeded with detaining clearly a baby, 8 years of age.
8-year-old child.
While they were detained, the officers informed her, that her son, they suspected of being involved in various criminal activity. Stewart was taken aback as more law enforcement agents arriving in at least 3 additional cars.
Yeah, it says, the officer informed that her son, an elementary school student, matched the description of a young man they suspected of being involved in various criminal activities. Wow. You're going to hear the next part. You're going to be fathomed.
And then they brought in the helicopter for
Helicopter? So they brought 3 additional cars. They're already detained. They're already handcuffed. But they need 3 additional cars and a helicopter. That's like those police officers that they're detaining a family when they're coming back from basketball practice. And you hear the officer at one point announce that, "We need more officers. We need more officers. Give us everything you got." I mean, it's crazy. I mean, the families already comply. Why do you need more officers? You already got, 5, 6, 7 cars like that. All of a sudden, they need 3 for this mother child. They need 3 additional cars and a helicopter. What do you need a helicopter for?
18-year-old. Okay, they brought in the helicopter.
Yeah.
Joined the officers that initially stopped her. Put up the picture again.
One more time.
Okay. Why do we need a helicopter?
Good point.
They're detained. You've detained a child going to football practice.
And you detained a mother.
You have backup. You have guns drawn.
And all of a sudden, you need 3 more. You need 3 more units, 3 more cop cars, and a helicopter. Wow.
All of a sudden, a helicopter comes to the scene.
Yeah.
And not one of you, let's just say geniuses, realize this is a freaking 8-year-old baby.
And a pregnant mother.
Dumbasses. Every single one of you. All right. Put up his other picture.
Here it is. Check this out.
Yeah. They thought he was grown damn near, okay? Really, my 8-year-old baby fits the description of the suspect you're looking for? She told KCRA she was thinking, it just didn't make sense to me, she said. She posted on Facebook the police thought her son was a drug dealer.
Yeah.
Yes, going to football practice in an 8-year-old body.
It just doesn't make sense.
And they also believe
that just doesn't make sense. Like, cause mistake. Oh yeah, this 8-year-old child is gonna go sell drugs while doing football. Get the fuck out of here. That's the most insanity bullshit logic I've ever heard in my life.
That this drug dealing 8-year-old going to football practice child engaged in home invasions in addition to selling narcotics.
Jesus Christ.
This is all a true story, ladies and gentlemen. This is what the police believed about this 8-year-old child. According to Stewart, who was also 9 months pregnant, During the stop, her son started to shout. Why was he shouting? He was worried about his mother.
Yeah.
He wasn't worried about himself. He was worried about his mom. And asked the officers not to take his mother away. In the post, she said she feared for her son's life because the police insisted
that he fit the description of the suspect.
The son also was afraid for the mother's life. He can be heard in the video screaming to his mother, "Please don't leave. Please wait." So the police eventually admitted officers made a mistake releasing this official statement. They read in part. Here it is. From a distance, officers observed a juvenile who they believed to be a wanted suspect. All windows on the sides and back of the vehicle were heavily tinted.
Oh, my God.
Based on the information regarding firearm history, a high-risk stop was initiated. They realized the juvenile in the vehicle was not the wanted suspect. And at that point, the high-risk stop was ended. We must acknowledge that in this instance, a mistake was made. Our officers provided an explanation to the mother and her son. Our department has been in contact with the mother since the incident. We recognize the impact that police interactions can have on our community members. I hope.
Here's the problem I have with that as well, too. I mean, yeah, their union or like that, the chief or like that, they'll say, "Oh, we made a mistake." Would the officers that made a mistake, will they own up to it? Will they ever say, "I'm sorry, we made a mistake, it's unfortunate"? No. Most police officers says, "Oh, well, life goes on. Hey, you're still alive." I'm like, fuck you. You put us in fear. I could have been dead. You made me think I was going to die today.
I hope there's a lawyer involved.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Definitely. Because the emotional distress created in this situation, and then their explanation, well, it was high risk. It was a high risk arrest or high risk whatever.
Yeah, it was a high profile
it was still
stop.
High risk when they detained them. Clearly, one of your guys can see this is an 8-year-old kid. Clearly, they said this is a child.
Yeah.
This person is 8 years old. But nobody removed the handcuffs or stopped the insanity at that point. So let's put up the chief.
Here's the chief.
Buck stops with Kathy Lester.
Kathy Lester, Buck stops with you there, girl.
Investigation into the incident is underway. All right? Don't hold your breath.
I'm not.
Stewart told KCRA she can't shake the feeling of being worried and scared, saying her son could be experiencing even more trauma. What kid wants to live in fear of a police officer?
Yeah. Remember I did a story the other day about how a guy was, Mr. Glassford, was just simply doing a First Amendment protected activity, and the cops are trying to belittle him, all this stuff like that. And they're like, "Oh, you got a son dog?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm teaching my son." So that's a smart parent, teaching their children to be aware how tyranny and how corrupt police officers are in this day and age, so that they can be aware, and that way if they were ever mishandled and illegally detained, that way they can be aware instead of have to be traumatized. I mean, come on. It's like this. What do you think is worse for a child? To be sexually groomed, molested by a fucking pedophile, or be traumatized and have guns drawn by a police officer, and and also that trust is out the door. Out the door.
Possibly stopping him in the future and doing something to him. Is this how they deal with young children, young men, minorities?
Yeah.
Per CNN, she's seeking a therapist for her son who has been unable to talk about the incident. She also wants the department to pay for the counseling and intends to file a complaint against them. My encouragement, ma'am, please find an attorney. Please find an attorney, quickly, okay? The emotional distress, the fact that he can't talk about it,
Well, that tells you something.
it doesn't mean he's dealing with it. It means your child is not dealing with it. and it is residing in his subconscious mind.
Yeah, because you know what that means that he won't talk about? Because the fact that child is so sensitized by the trauma experience. It's like he witnessed and went through a horrific ordeal. He is so sensitized by that. I mean, it's like an ultimate shock value, and it probably will take him a while to talk about it.
The subconscious mind is a great protector to our conscious thought. So the subconscious mind has stored it to protect them. But unfortunately, we are governed by our subconscious thoughts. So this thing.
Let me tell you one thing or two. I mean, anybody who gets, stopped or detained by cops, I know they get nervous. Cops goes around and say, "Oh, why are you so nervous?" Because, well, duh, because I don't know what you're going to do. I know I admit it. If I ever get stopped or detained by police officers, you betcha I'm going to be nervous. My heart's fucking racing to my chest. It's like, boom, 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 because you don't know. I mean, how do I know if they're going to be cordial, friendly, or they're going to, violate my rights and try to make up some shit? How do I know they're going to pull a gun on me and try to shoot me because maybe I looked at them wrong, or they were to their eyes, it looked like I'm a cold-blooded murderer or violent rapist?
That seemingly changed his thinking about police and his thinking about the world. Because remember, he's traumatized because these people damn near took his mother away.
Yeah.
By force, by weapon, detained his own mom. All right? Sharon Hill of a thing, the excuse from the police doesn't fly.
It will never fly.
No, it doesn't, and it's sad and painful to hear that mother begging and talking about what her child will have to face. Tamir Rice's mother still has nightmares, I'm sure. What was it, 1.2 seconds? A baby. But to the police, in too many instances, certain children are viewed as coming out of the womb, fully formed adults who face adult unfair
It's really ridiculous that in this day and age, you got police officers that disregard the age of children like that. They don't care. And their protocol and the law says no police officer or agent is allowed to handcuff a child that's 12 years or younger. They are not allowed. It is against protocol. But they do it anyways. They don't care. I got a little bonus for you. Remember the Arkansas family I was talking about? Let's roll a little clip of this.
And it goes without saying how much more terrified she was because of that. To make things worse, the officers went as far as to place the young boy in handcuffs.
Rear passenger behind the driver's seat. Open up your car door and step out of the car slowly. Step out of the car.
Keep in mind, this is Frisco, Arkansas, ladies and gentlemen.
Face away from us.
And these officers having a...
With one hand,
that is an underage teenager right there. Guns drawn on him.
Now slowly spin around. Slowly spin around. Higher. Lift your shirt higher. Lift the back of your shirt higher. Turn around now. Turn around.
Nothing's gonna happen to him. Nothing's gonna happen to him. As long as your kids in the car.
You hear that, lady? Please, sorry. She's the one that made a mistake.
My nephew, we're on the way to a tournament. Where?
Oh, is they're on the way to tournament? All right.
No, Grapevine Field House. So when I ran your tag, it comes back that plate was removed or it's not associated with your car whatsoever.
Occupants in the car. Leave your heads outside the car. We know there is a gun in there. If you reach in that car, you may get shot, so be careful. Do not reach in the car. All right, sir, that is on the roadway. With your hands up, gray shirt, gray shorts. Slowly step backwards. Start stepping backwards to our car. Start walking, keep walking, keep walking, keep walking, keep walking. Who's on hands? Stop, stop. Hey, we need more officers.
That is really disgusting. Yeah, you hear the officer, hey, we need more officers. Hey, send everything you got. Yeah, just like the mother and the 8-year-old child. 3 more crews come on when they're detained and they have a helicopter? This is crazy. Anyways, I'm out of here, my job. Peace out.